I love the top bun. Mm, amazing. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hope you're doing amazing. Today's event, as you shall know, is our channeling event where Sherry will tap in, tune in, and express all the messages. Maybe private or personal messages, or general, or both. And even in those private messages, or the personal ones, whatever you get, whatever you resonate with, it is for you as well. So always know that everything is for everyone. So let's first connect. We'll connect to the hive and set an intention and just open up for the general message. I'll invite you all to just close your eyes unless you are driving. Gently close your eyes otherwise. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Oh, kind of shaking the day away. Another nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. One more deep inhale and make it the largest of the day, pulling it in. Hold at the top. Relax your tongue and your shoulders. Slowly exhale through your mouth, pushing everything out, out, out. Hold. Relax your tongue, your forehead. There you go, your jaw. On your next inhalation, move to the center of your soul. Allow yourself to light up, and that light that lights up, allow to get brighter, amplifying, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Fully consuming all of you. Inviting in the cosmic hive energies, allowing them to swarm around you, come from within you, and move through you. Moving into the cosmic hive arena, we circle together, and in the middle of our circle there's a sphere. The sphere is beautiful. Shimama comes into the sphere, settles in, inviting in the cosmic being or the many, whomever we're going to channel. We set our intentions. Just go ahead and set an intention, whatever you wish for your message to, whatever you would like to receive today, whatever clarity, medicine. There you go. And now allowing to be open just for the general collective message.
It would be somewhat confounding for us to say that we are in a celebratory aspect, that we are excited, to say the least, because it is quite a divergent from what is happening, so to speak, in your realm. Within the overall a construct, the things that occur and the things that would cause one to be apprehensive or in considering what is transpiring. There are many ongoings that are from your perspective maladjusted and causing certain situations that are not beneficial to your species, and certain ones that are being we will say targeted, and other ones that are have presentations. There are presentations, ongoing presentations, meaning it is presented to you one way when it is quite the other. But you are aware, you are awake, as you say, the what goes on in your realm, and we are, of course, in high observance of it, and mm, based on intercessory requisitions, or you say prayers, or your communication and your requests opens up developments where we can intercede and co-create, as you say, communicate and provide. So these things going on in your realm, there will be, of course, I say of course because as things escalate, there sometimes is a increasing of the escalation before there is a something of the opposite, meaning that as things increase and there is turmoil, there is also for you to remember that just like your experience on the other side of turmoil are epiphanies, revelations, new revealings, and things of the such that will cause you to understand the occurrence of the turmoil. And without the turmoil, there would be no occurrence of the revelations. And the revelations is what is causing our excitement. And our excitement is an exuberance because we know that previous to these turmoils will bring about certain things that will cause more eyes to be open, more hearts to hear, and more eyes to see. You notice we say hearts to hear as opposed your ears to hear. And that is because within the emotional construct, when there are emotions that are evoked by certain events, that is when there is the we will say concurrence of the heart, but this is because the emotion evoked a caring, an empathy, or a concern, or a alignment with that of what you see as non-beneficial, or certain aspects of the presentation not to be true. Thus, it is a new awareness. You are already aware, and you have many awarenesses that are increasing, and that it increases as you experience, you receive, and you alchemize, and all the different things that occur throughout your days, your weeks, your months. As you know, are not the same as a month before, and that is true for the year before, so to speak, and also for the decade before. And this continues. But there are many who have been obstructed by the presentation, obstructed by the official remedies offered, and obstructed by the filters of the presentors. The presentors are the ones who will portray a certain viewpoint, or portray a certain eliciting the emotional aspects again. But the eliciting of emotional aspects, this is where the crux of our message is, that when these emotional aspects are elicited, what is intended sometimes by the presenters, almost misspoke and said pretenders, but indeed it is almost one of the same. The what is intended to elicit a certain emotional response based off of the consciousness and the awareness that was before. They do not tweak their presentation to consider the new awarenesses and the new consciousness that is arising, and thus the presentation does not have the same effect as the presenters perceived, what they wanted to portray. So with that being said, as even a smidgen of a new awareness or awakening, it elicits the emotional output. But with the new awareness, the new awakening, and the consciousness shifted, the emotional output is different, and it will not fit into the format of the intention of the presenters. And thus, this is where the crux is. For one relay, one word, or one opening of consciousness from you to another, this is not only verbally, this is also with your energetic intention. It is with your increased consciousness and awareness that seeps through to others, even though they are not consciously accepting that, but yet it is the vibrational status of the collective, as you would say, and the vibrational status, as one increases, it increases the whole. You do understand that, but also this is not what is formed in the calculation of the presenter. So the reason we are relaying this to you as these things occur, as these things are perceived as turmoil, remember that there is the opposite effect that occurs with the increased consciousness and the increased awareness and the increased of your totality, so that it is when it is presented, you may feel an initial emotional response, but remember that the open heart will never relay the intended emotional response. So, in other words, it stays pure and true to form of your increased consciousness. So, whenever there is an occurrence or a presentation, allow the heart to be open. And when others may be turning to the programmed fear, or we will say depletion, because there is a depleting aspect of fear. You know, when you feel fear, when you have apprehension or worry, and that is all adjuncts of fear, and understanding that that is very depleting. So remembering that the empowerment of which you are in your physicality at this time, that you are here, that you are participating, that you are integral, that you are complete in your awareness and your consciousness, increasing, that increases that optimization and that opportunity for the others to increase as well. There is the natural byproduct of a situation that will naturally evoke a fear response, fight or flight, that type of thing. And we're not saying that there is going to be a collision with the in totality with a calamity. We are not saying that, but we are saying as there is an occurrence ongoing right now, and other occurrences, other things, you know what they are, that there is those things connected to other things increase and are offshoots, so to speak, that do cause other occurrences. With that being said, when it is sometimes natural to formulate that response, there is the opportunity to optimize your being in the response of, you would say, centering and remembering your consciousness connected to everything, all of creation within you, all sparks of divine light circulating throughout you, and remembering that it is the smidgen, again, of the occurrence that is seeking to bring forth a particular collective emotional underlay. But you have, with the open heart and returning to your core and your empowerment, remembering that you here now traverse, employ all of the divine light within you, and that there is no situation or occurrence that will ever cause about your consumption. Do not let it consume you, but let it transition to your outpouring for the collective, so to speak. Remembering that the newness is on the other side of the turmoil. Remembering that we would not be exuberant or excited if there was a totality calamity that was irreversible or would cause about a anything that is not suited for where you are now. You are suited to relay your optimization, optimizing others to increase their consciousness and awareness. Many of you already know this, but it is a reminder as as things occur. It is open eye or an alternative viewpoint of what is presented. Our exuberance and excitement is that the increasing of hearts that hear, hearts that feel, hearts that know, hearts that gather, hearts that portray, hearts that speak, and many of the things that the heart does. I need to mute somebody. If it's me. Oh. And remembering the heart, you would say that the as you recognize your say your central nervous system, the communication of all the inputs and outputs of your physical body, and the overall what we have identified as the beacon or beat, the spiritual spine is the vehicle likes to relay. That is analogous to the central nervous system spiritually, but it does communicate in the form of receiving from all inputs from the field. Your energy centers connected to it, your energy centers fully formed throughout and receiving. I'm going to mute you, Justin. It's a little loud. I'm sorry. And the reason we bring this to your awareness as you connect fully, but understanding that in the physical, when you're going about your day and there are things that you are doing that you are in receiving mode energetically, but the more and more you bring your awareness to this infusion. Many of you bring the energy through your upper aspect, through your beam at the intersectional level with all dimensions, and that is quite appropriate as it is containing your totality, and it is a method for receiving, but understanding that your energy body directly surrounding your physical body also circulates out throughout the energy body, connected to the beam and full cohesion with the field. And that is also in receiving, and it is highly optimal for you to receive in both ways. What is the difference? What is the variance? One would say, what is the the occurrence? Why would we need to understand this difference? As the receiving within your beam or beacon is purified and solely with your totality, your higher self, as you refer to it, and all the aspects of every intersecting with all timelines and all aspects of you. In addition, it is your purest form. But as you see, your energy center is fully connected to your beam or beacon, intersecting there and circulating out. If that is directly correlated with your receiving in the physical, connected to your physical realm and Gaia and your energy body at that level. Whereas you could say the beacon or beam is the purely source intersecting. It is all connected, but this is the flow and the awareness and your consciousness and in your mind's eye, and you fully realizing this when you manifest, when you are relaying, it is in variance depending on your focal point. Are manifesting, it would behoove you can realize and connect your or begin to connect with your. I'm gonna keep muted, Jesper. Thank you. Your beam or beacon, but utilizing the energy body surrounding your physicality that is also connected to your beam or beacon, but utilizing that for physical manifestation as that full emanation of your vibrational status. Your vibrational status in your beam or beacon is solid. It is non-variant. It is connected to all that is. It is intersecting with all dimensionalities. You can interface there as well. But when you interface from your energy body, from your energy centers that are connected to your beam or beacon, that is interfacing directly with your physicality, thus they're in that awareness and that connection point within the field connected to everything that is your beam is as well. But your beam is fixed vibrational status, you would say, whereas your energy centers will oscillate. There will be a variety of vibrational status depending on what is ongoing in your physical and what is ongoing in your mind and what is ongoing in your emotional state. But remembering that your energy body and your energy center is fully connected to the field and the state of course, appreciation, receiving, and coordinating that. So there's a coordination between your beam or beacon and outflowing that through the energy centers and increasing your vibrational status. When they say center, it is truly related to the beam or beacon is being your center. And that is why it is efficient, effective, that it does center you, because you are connecting to that solid state that does not fluctuate, that does not have any variables, because it is your totality and it is your supreme being, we'll say. And that is for your awareness. So when you illuminate your beam or beacon, and it is in full receiving, and you bring it to your awareness and increases your awareness, which increases it within your energy centers that are emanating out around you in your physicality. It is the interplay between the two that increases the vibrational status very efficiently. Manifesting within this when you have whatever it is that you are focused on to manifest, allowing your energy centers, you see them circulating out, you see your energy body circulating out, but being the consistency of the vibrational status that that manifestation is already here, it is already within your reality, it is already taking place. Resonating with that is going to bring it in. And again, we do remind you as well that Gaia is the physical system for your physical, but it also, she is instrumental in your navigating anything within your physical realm. Very well. Jeanette, high tide, high time. High tide is when there is, of course, you understand what high tide is. There is a flow of things. It brings things to the shore. It brings the shells to the shore. It brings the different, we will say, nutrients that will cause about things to be seen and discovered upon the shore that were previously hidden in the sea. Some of these things brought forth to the shore have not seen, as you would say, sunlight for quite some time. Why do we bring this to your awareness? As it is a process of, you would say, a slow evolution, so to speak, that one shell that you find, it may have been hidden for the longest time, but one high tide, one low tide, one movement of the soil, and erosion here or there, or releasing of a tidal pool somewhere, or something flows out and flows in, that every uniqueness, everything spotted along the shore could have not be seen by eyes for a long time, so to speak, only seen by the sea underworld. Why do we say this to you? For the high tide is an analogy for the understanding that there are things that come in, and many will walk by it and will not see it. It will not be available because they are not paying attention. But the high tide brings things in. You see a certain thing. And because some others may not see it, does not mean that they won't. There is, just as the tide has taken much time to move that to the shore. And then it again takes time for someone to notice it, to pick it up, to study it, to see the beauty in it, cherish it, maybe keep it, or whatever they wish to do. But the tide brings in many things at once. So when many things come in, it is obvious that one could be easily looking at one thing but not see the other, because there are many things to see at once. You know what you have developed and what things to focus on. Understanding that if sometimes it is not seen by others, the ones that you pick up and you cherish and you hold and you keep, understand there is a time for it to be shown and it to be brought forth to others as well. But the high tide also has the low tide, cannot be one without the other, right? It is by the moon's gravitational pull that the tide occurs and the tide is formed. So understanding that the low tide, you can also see much, which will again be covered with water. So the low tide is representative of times of feeling somewhat depleted. And the high tide would be more of feeling the refreshment, feeling the arena of plenty, but understanding that when there is the water going out, slight sense of depletion or slight sense of emptiness, that there is much to be seen. And even focusing on and allowing yourself to cherish what you have already gathered. Sometimes when there are so many shells to gather on the shore, then the one that is already gathered may become obscured by the others. The salt of the sea is one component that generates the foam, sea foam, but not the only component. The sea foam glows in the moonlight. The moonlight kisses the seas and pulls them. It is you would say for Gaia, it is energetically consistent with the pulling and the refreshment. It is very relieving for her, the movement of the tides, very assistive for her. The moon is highly assistive for her, as it is for you, all of you, as you know. But this is the second component, or third, practically, of our analogy, is that the moon bringing in the high tide, allow the moon to surface in your awareness and support you fully to illuminate the things to pick up and cherish and illuminate that for others. This seems like a riddle or clue, but your understanding will grow roots and flourish. Myra. Scurry and hurry. Scurry and hurry. The busy bee, so to speak, doing things, creating things. And we will say now, composing. What is composing? A composer composes and places the notes in the perfect alignment. The composition is what the composer has completed. So as a composer, seeing yourself composing, there is one note that plays, then another note. These notes and these things that you are bringing in, bring them to your high awareness that they are complementary, and everything that you have brought forth and that your heart's passion has been increased and increased and increased, and the pull to do and to flourish and to assist others in flourishing. All of those notes landing on the page for the composition. As you already have contributed to the composition, you are composing, you are adding those notes and those things. Allow yourself to pause, take a look at the music that has already been, the composition that has already been constructed, as it is still in work, so the full composition is not complete, but the composing continues. If you were to say the composition is well advanced over 3/4, nearing completion, that is not to say that you have to find the other notes. They are already within your venue. They are already within your talents. They are already around you. It is the final touches, the completion. But as you look, pause and look at all of the notes. These are things that you have already done, things you've already contributed to, things you have already understood. That will, you would say, as you incorporate things for the total composition, there are a few notes that are easily, they are not misplaced. They do not need to be moved. They are in perfection, that they need to be re-recognized. Re-recognized, meaning that it is easy as there is a symphony, many notes together, and not to individually see the notes. Let the individual notes stand out and the whole ensemble before completing the composition, as you will know which other talents and additives and incorporations to finalize the composition in completion. What is the composition? It is your package, presentation, not like the other person, but your presentation of your offerings and your completeness. And that will serve you well. When you look back and pause, it may be at one time, but it will be also at different times and remembrances of the things that you have incorporated to place in that are already placed, because each note individually is a component of the offerings and the package, so to speak. There's a lot of emotion right now. Get excited about the package. Allow yourself to not, as a composer creates in flow and does not logically think, I'll put this note here. It is a flow of passion from the heart. It is a flow from the greatest compositions, or as they were accessing of what they did not know where from they were accessing. And that is it too. Your ancient knowledge, your core being, tapping into your being when you are finalizing the composition, your purest essence of solid vibrational status. The excitement will be in the field of your energy centers, knowing that the logical mind has its place, but in the composition, it is fluid in flow of the harmony of your soul. Tim, beginning over. There are times that there is a begin and it may remain incomplete, or I'm gonna ask you, Jesper, I'm so sorry. So what I'm seeing, Jesper, is I'm seeing like a beginning, and then you feel like it's like, I begin that again. I gotta start that over, begin it again, like that type of thing. Like I'm seeing it go up, down, like beginning and going, and then beginning again. Oh yeah, it is, though it can be a source of somewhat, we would say, frustration, but it's more of a like, I started this again, and I feel like I'm starting it again. I feel like it's going back and forth. But they're saying it is not It is not going back and forth. It is every time is like a little bit different. So I see it going up, but you acquire something new. You go up and acquire something new, and it goes up. But the perspective is like not seeing that the growth there and the increasing is what they're saying, and that there's like a tendency. They're showing me a tendency of like opportunities that are that perceived as missed, or like, oh, like the missed opportunity, or like I didn't get to that, or I didn't. They want you to stop that. They want you to feel, they're saying fully complete right now, and not look at it like it's a new beginning with a twist. And again, there is bringing this like an excitement and into it as well. So not have it, they're showing me that it kind of looks like a little bit heavy. And they're showing me a little bit of heavy energy in your energy. Aw, Jeanette, you got that. I get that I see it more if he's facing me. Let me go. I would say more on the right side because he's facing, I get confused on right and left, but you'll see where it is, Jeanette. And it's just from that. And they're just showing like erasing that. Yep. Erasing that and then getting that energy out, because it's almost like a feeling like I didn't quite succeed. It's not like failure. It's not failure, but it's like kind of didn't miss the mark. Like if you're shooting an arrow, they're showing me shooting an arrow and it doesn't go right in the center. It's just like right off center, but it's still like the perspective is like it wasn't center, but not looking like, wow, that was, it's, they're saying that it's off center for a reason, because there's something else that you learn and grow, but it's something else to, they're saying pursue. What is it you want him to pursue? Okay. So it definitely said pursue, they're saying pursue your peace within that. It's not like you have to pursue this particular project with this, but pursue that your peace that you have contributed, you have provided, you have grown, you have succeeded, and you're not missing the mark. You're not missing the mark. I'm getting a lot of motion now. So yeah. So yeah, that just that I see that energy already leaving. But see it not as just like I didn't quite do it. I'm gonna start it over again. See it like it's totally new and different this time. It's not just like repeating. It's like a sense of like almost like repeating things, but it's not. They're just saying that it is well balanced and to shift that perspective. Orpha. I first got the word meeting, and then I heard meeting of the mind. Meeting on your terms. Meeting, and this is not to say that you're going to have a scheduled meeting. This is a so that I'm seeing like there's a like almost like a pushback, but it's your standards, and they want you to feel really, really grounded and strong in your standards. Your standards are good. Sometimes there's pushback of your standards, but they're saying that your standards are really, really good, and you hold they're showing me like you and your energy body, and I'm seeing like your standards are showing me how your standards have really brought you through because you haven't fluctuated from that. And because you haven't fluctuated from that, it really is like made it stronger and stronger. It's like building. I'm seeing like layers of like granite build and strong. But it's that the meeting in the mind is when like you accept, because there's a almost like a sense that you, well, maybe I'm being, the meeting of the minds comes when you accept that strength and you feel into those standards and really love them up, really love on yourself, because they have brought you through. They have created your core. They have been persistent. They've been by your They've been relevant. They've helped others. Love on them, girl. Love on them. Yes. Because that's where the meeting of the minds is. It's almost because you like if when you know that they're strong, you're empowered by them, but there is this little aspect that others don't accept them, that others don't understand them, that others don't receive them. And when you have that little resistance, that's what it creates in others. So there's no meeting of the minds. So the meeting of the minds is occurring with the acceptance of that standards. Yes. See that what you have built and that strength and those layers and like not even deviating when you felt the pull to, you stayed strong. You didn't deviate. Honor that. Honor that because a lot of times a lot of us get pulled and we go because we want to please others and make others happy and we want to accommodate others and we don't stay true to ourselves and I see that you really stayed true to yourself and that built a solid foundation that there was like an interrupter there with thinking that this is something that not propels, what's that word, uh, repels others, you tweak that. It doesn't. It doesn't. But they're showing me feel that strength and that empowerment of what you have built on those standards. And that those standards are good. They're saying they're really good. Love them, feel them. Yes, yes, yes. Hold them close and allow that perspective that others, it will repel them and feel that love in what you have built and the strength of those layers. Feel that love in your core for yourself and feel that opening up and not repelling. Meeting of the mind, meeting of the mind because they feel your love, meeting of the mind because they feel your heart, meeting of the mind because they feel your trueness, how you are true to that. And they showed it as granite as being strong, but they want you to soften it up now. And I am seeing almost like a strong but porous, almost like fiberglass. So it's strong, but it's porous. So the others feel that. And allow yourself kind to bring into your mind when you're engaging with somebody, you're meeting with somebody, you're talking to somebody, no matter who it is, to feel that strength, that cherishing, but yet it flows out too. It flows out as well. And let it, when it flows out from the heart, just feel it flowing out. And I see that meeting of the mind. I don't know exactly with who or what or when or whatever, but I see the meeting of the mind, but it all comes back to that one perception. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Estella. So I heard right away, steadfast, hold strong. I see you like standing there, like solid, like a statue, just like solid standing there, which almost would be, it doesn't show movement. It shows stationary. The reason that they're showing it to me like that is because whereas we always feel like we need to be busy, need to be doing things, need to do, they're showing like just they're showing like this period I'm seeing for like a month. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything and you just sit still. It doesn't mean that at all. But it means that you really, they're saying honor, cherish, but they're also saying they want you to remotely view where you're at, which is a little confusing to me. Is that different than observance? It's a high form of observance. So what I'm seeing is like seeing yourself where you are now, not feeling the need to change, morph, alter anything. Of course, in your day to day, if you have like a thought that comes in that doesn't align or whatever, you could do that, but not taking on what they're saying, any, I'm seeing like a purse, not adding anything to the purse, like, not that everything that you need in there is fine, perfect. And to and that solid state of understanding that at this time, the acquisitions and the your motivations, your inspirations, it is all in well formed. That's why they show me a statue well formed. And by remote viewing or observing it, so when do you want her to do this like intermittently during the day or particular times? Okay, they're saying that you have the ability, and they're not using remote view by chance. You actually are an incredible remote viewer. Um, so if you haven't done this, so that would be an acquisition. It's already within you. So they're saying, no, it's okay to say that because you don't, it's already within you. But so the they're showing me like I see you like almost like step out of the body and you are observing yourself, but you're able to observe yourself in the future. You're able to observe yourself. Mm, and that obviously we can all observe ourselves in the past, but you have an ability. It's like some of us, based off of our perspective and what was going on in what our emotions were at a time, that's kind of what's imprinted, and that's how we'll see the past based on that imprint. But you can see the full totality of a circumstance in the past and look at it not just from that single lens of how it emotionally affected you. And so with this is key to doing this for the present. So what they're saying that you haven't really done this for the present. You have the ability for the past. I'm hearing toyed with the future, but there's more for you to discover about future remote viewing. Let me ask if it's for you and others. Absolutely. If it's for you, it's for others. Okay. So but to allow, no, is this intermittent? Maybe it's my logical mind confusing me, but I want clarification on how you do this. They're saying but it is, I'm seeing it key times during meditation, but I'm also seeing at times when you're in nature or in solitude, but it'll come to you, but to observe the present. And okay, they're bringing to my memory when I placed my first baby bird in a tree and the complete look of awe that was in it. Was like its mouth was open and it was looking around. It was nothing but awe. That is how you are to remote view the present. And seeking clarification on how this assists you with more the future remote viewing and also remote viewing for others. And I see this as if you so choose, this is a key. I don't want to say key because then that puts a little like I gotta do it. This is one aspect that you could consider to utilizing for the community, our community of the hive, where there's certain information that the hive will provide us without saying A, B, C, D, and E, and F is going to happen. This is what you need to do. It sometimes it will interfere with our experience if we know everything. But through remote viewing, you're bringing it in through your abilities that you are connecting to that timeline and able to see certain things. And if there is something that you ever want to provide to the community, feel free and open to do that. Um, Okay, remember the remote viewing observation and awe and wonder of your present without any need to adjust anything at the present, any need to figure anything out in the present, just being everything that you have done, who you're with, where you're at, all these things, feeling into that as being perfectly aligned and remote viewer observe that. They're excited for you. Megan. I'm seeing this really, really beautiful opalescence sphere. It looks like a opal. You know how opals have like the looks like there's fire inside of them, like sparks. Why am I seeing? So this is I kept wanting to reject it because I'm like, this reminds me of a crystal ball. Like was using my logic that way, but I kept wanting to reject it. But it's I see you and I see you connecting with this sphere in your mind's eye, but also in your heart, in your totality. I see your beam, but I see your heart center like enveloping this, like really connecting with this sphere. And they're showing me it's like oh, Trini's not here. The name, it's those numbers, those sequence of numbers. I think we shared with you guys, Kevork, something, these codes that you run through the sphere. But I'm seeing it like if you have mm, not just a client, not just you have your own ways that you have developed for healing, for connecting, delivering, for providing, and all of that. But this specifically clarifies. So I see your heart center connected to it because I want to keep projecting how it looks like a crystal ball. And what they're showing me is that when it comes to our particular delivery, like what I'm doing now, or what say fortune telling or future telling is what they're saying, but also what I'm seeing is that you connecting to that, and it's like it's almost like the Gaia sphere where it's sitting on our lap. It is like literally sitting on your lap. Your heart space fully connected, and I see a word going in there, so it could be a person's name or an event or whatever it is for clarification. And I see it becoming clearer. The dances of the sparks like the opal, let those dance within your heart too. It's like your heart receives that opalescence and it becomes clear in the sphere. In between, however you choose, if you choose to use this, in between, I see like like out like clearing it out as well. There's a being coming through that didn't go into the sphere. It's not the purpose of this being. Beautiful. Um, uh, female. I'm seeing like the kind of angelic, but not, no, just a female, beautiful gold accents. And what is your purpose? To help you with, she's saying development and implementation, if you would like to not, she's saying, don't have like, there's this mm, have to or you need to, but it is optimized for you before your heart space being very open and very willing and very, she's showing me your heart. Oh my God. So much there. She's saying that is the prime space. You to say prime real estate. Everybody has beautiful hearts, but your heart is so empathetic and so conditioned. She said it's conditioned for the perfect optimization and coordination with that flow of information back and forth. This can be, I'm asking like all the uses of this. It is not like the one where you put the codes in that was for healing and stuff. It's not necessarily for healing. It is to clarify. It is like they're showing me. I want to change it because like the crystal ball analogy, but I am seeing that it is the perfect reference for it. And the usage of seeing something, whether it's going to occur for someone or for more than one someone, or for she's saying opportunities of communion. So I'm seeing that this is a place where if it's a client, you don't put a client in here, but if it's a client, I see that their higher self, your higher self can communicate with their higher self. But this is a really developed way for the higher self to show you something about their client that needs to be revealed. So you could utilize it in that way if you choose. I see there's now it looks like there's fish in there. It looks like an aquarium. Well, let's find out what that means. So with an aquarium, it is very, of course, tranquil, serene. We look at it and it just seems so peaceful to be floating in the water. That is one reason for that. It's a very tranquil space, but also that what they said is there's a lot of fish in the sea, but meaning that a lot of fish in the sea that this is not meant for, but this one's for me, that this one's for you. So I see the fish that are kind of like wanting to get out, like, get out of here. So it's like that is emptied now. Or any other reason for the fish? The analogy of the tranquility, the serene when you're looking at an aquarium and you see everything ongoing, but also that those like this is very unique. It all of a sudden antennas went on top of it. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna say what I'm hearing. I'm seeing other civilizations, galactic civilizations. This is beyond the hive. This is beyond the beings of the hive. But that there's like transmissions and things that there's so many things ongoing, so many things occurring. There's no way me, Trini, all of you, Jeanette, Myra, all of us, there's only so much we could receive. And that this is there's a scene into them and getting friggin' chills. Those broadcasts, if you wish to tune in, you could see it. You could adjust it. You don't have to formulate the name from the, but they're saying that would be revealed to you as well. But broadcasts from other colonies that transmit, reveal, and say it's like information be recorded. I hear the word record, like in other words, like write it down, like it's information, like write it down. when you want to receive that, you intuitively know, but just visualize the antennas in it to differentiate. So for the aspects of clairvoyance, receive the opalescence within your heart. You could clear it out, but with the aspects of the higher self, that's intention, the higher self, you could allow yourself to place that intention. That's they're saying that that part's just fine. You don't need explanation on that. But for the aspect of the broadcast, you could see the antennas. And I do see it as a stream of words. I do not see like one word delay, one word. I see it like it coming through and you're writing it down is what I'm seeing. I'm asking if those broadcasts are like how we're always told radio waves just always go and they're always out there, or if it's specifically transmitted for your receiving through this mechanism. Okay, they're saying it's both because it's there, it's transmitted, but it's also within the awareness that this is manifesting, this is exists, this is they're saying say what I'm hearing, part of the your co-creation with the all the based off of all you have formed, all you're receiving, all your understanding, and you're increasing an advancement that brings in opportunities for further assistance for you and others. And to, again, they're showing me your heart and then how much they're honoring your heart and how much they're honoring is they're showing me your commitment and you just, the one who broadcasts that unconditional love, that vibrational status that you broadcast, also receives the broadcast. That's what they're saying. Receives the broadcast. The being, I brought my, she's, um, she's there to like to adjust the antennas just to be there. You don't have to necessarily. You could she says that you will know you're perfectly fine. I don't have to give you a step-by-step guide, but she's there. That's all you need to know. She guards it. She's saying she guards it, that it's meant only for you. It is not something to be, it is only for you. It is attuned to you. It is for you. And she says that it's her honor. And she said this is so she guards it. She guards it energetically. She keeps it safe so there is no interruptions, interference, um, anything like that. So it's there. It's totally under her safekeeping. It's pretty darn powerful. Yeah, she's very happy. Just, and I'm sorry for muting you so many times, Jesper. I think there was like a glitch on your phone. But it worked out perfectly because I went from like the direct stream to more the conversational flow when they provide. I actually like this better. So yeah, good thing. So thank you. So I see a book and I see like if you were to open a book, but there's like pages in the middle, and I see your hands hold it like I'd say about 20 pages, not a lot of the book, but just like 20 pages, and you're holding it like straight up, and the rest of the book's laying there. And you're holding it kind of tight and very determined. I just saw like a representation of And it's a guide. Gently take your hands and just said, let the pages fall. Let the pages fall. So you're not holding them in. What does this mean? Wake ya. The so what they're saying is that although it's not meant to confuse, but there it is very appropriate to say that for all of us, it's like we've already written the book, which because we're going through the experience and it's spontaneity and it's you never know what's going to happen and that type of thing, and you just you stay aligned and it all flow and all this, but it's like if it's already written, I feel like, well, it doesn't matter what the heck I do. It's kind of that could be a perspective if they're saying no, 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 no. So what they're showing is that there is the holding of the pages is representing of a determination, almost it's not rejection. Please clarify. Stubbornness has a connotation that is like bad. But we could be stubborn in good things. We could be stubborn in keeping our boundaries or whatever, but it's similar, but not exactly like that. It is determination based off of your knowing of what you know, which seems, if the book of our experience is written in the ethers in one way or another before we come into this life, it sounds like we make certain things are in place because we want to have the experience, but every little sentence doesn't have a period or every exclamation point. This is my logic, how I think. But they're showing me a book like written that what they're saying is that the pronunciation is the fluctuation or variance, how we pronounce things. But already being written doesn't mean that it doesn't matter how we choose or don't choose. It means that in full, what they're saying, in full alignment with our soul, the choices we make in a way have already been chosen because we made that choice in our soul. So that is what is written. It is what our soul has chosen. And all the developments, the pronunciation is the flavor, if you wish. The times where we may overreact or underreact or become super happy and aligned, and then the times where it's a pronunciation of the words, but the holding of the pages is representative of it's a willingness to receive and to they're saying alter, and they're saying that it is showing the strength of your soul, because in the writing of the book, that part of you holding the pages is already part of the writing, but holding the pages is showing a strength and determination that you are going to I'm hearing hold the standard for the world to bring up and help in the ascension and lift the vibrational status of the collective up. And it is absolutely, they're saying you do that automatically, you do that powerfully, And you are absolutely doing that. But to allow yourself to let those pages fall and understanding that part of the process of also not only your soul, but all souls that you love and care for so much, that the writings in all of our books, our souls live out the chapters as it was determined before coming here. It's not to say that, because I'm seeing it as like, I'm not going to let this happen, and they're saying no, 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 that's not it, or I'm going to keep it this way, and they're saying no, 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 that's not it. But what they're saying, what was being represented by you holding the pages, is that you have such a determination and a strong desire and overwhelmingly need to help ease the suffering and cause about the changes in the world that need to occur to bring about the enlightenment, the morphing into a pure age of love and co-creation and co-contribution, that focal point, and that it is because that is a wide reaching, many, 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 many aspects of it that are so many moving components, is what they're saying, a lot of moving components. And that you naturally, by osmosis, you increase that, you affect that, you change that. And the things you do intentionally change that. And that is absolutely beautiful. But they want you to feel the freedom of knowing that it is by osmosis and by your natural existence and your intentions to allow yourself to let those pages fall and understand it is already what they're saying occurring within you, occurring within others. But it didn't, I'm not seeing it as like resistance. I'm seeing it as such a strong bond and a strong determination for through love, forged through excuse me, love, that it was like that. I am doing this. I am holding you. I am there. But it was also that they want you to just allow it to expand and let the pages fall and feel the freedom of knowing that what they're saying, and they know that you know you're not alone in this, but they're showing me like okay, I keep hearing like a heavy burden. That's what I hear, like a heavy burden for this. And it's not that you intentionally made it heavy, but I'm seeing it like that determination holding those pages to shift the collective consciousness, to have that impact, to forge the way through to the new age, is they're showing me all of the other books also written. They want you to feel, really feel the support and the co-creation of that, and feel the freedom in knowing that you know you're supported, but feel the freedom and kind of like take a breath in that area and just let the natural movement of breath and who you are to allow that. It doesn't mean that you have to stop any of your anything in that regard, sending love out to collective or whatever you do, but okay. But just allowing to in your mind's eye to see those pages fall and feel like there is they're saying like there's like a constant interception, like an interception, like something's going on in the world and you intercept. intercept, affect, change, intercept, intercept, intercept. And that is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. And to see it not as an interception or an intervening, but see it as they're saying bursting forth of new creation, bursting forth. And they're asking you to see that book just like bursting forth. I'm seeing like fireworks and just like life and energy just bursting forth out of it. And so what they're saying is intercepting is they're saying that intercepting is acknowledging the brute force or the acknowledging the force that caused that situation, which therein gives it some residual information, energy, power. Whereas the bursting forth and they kind of bursting this like blast of light, blast of energy, blast just that just bursting forth. I'm seeing it's kind of like a water fountain, how it's small at the bottom and just bursting forth like fireworks, allowing that energy just to naturally flow from you. And I'm hearing no interception, no interception. It's no intervention. Remembering the books all written, the pronunciation is the difference. So feeling free of that. It's not like it was like a heavy burden or something. It was like a really of a joy of your heart. And that is the continual joy, but just letting it burst forth in the divine light that you are. That divine light I'm seeing not only eradicates, but it also removes the residual of the intention of ones that may have caused it to be. So it doesn't give that any more energy or power. And there creates a real balance. And it's not like, anything was wrong, but it allows more. What they're showing me is that I see you flipping through the pages now. It's like really, oh, looking at this chapter, looking at that chapter. It's more of instead of that, a little bit of tension holding those pages in a fixed format, almost to prevent something, which is, they're saying when you go into a grid area and you're connecting with it, just allow that bursting firework energy, fountain energy, just bursting forth, displacing and allowing that's just all love, enlightenment, awakening, just bursting forth, as opposed to focalized. And I've tended to do this too on whether it be eradicating something or I'm hearing the word revoking, those type of things, because that is still acknowledging and giving that residual energy to what is being revoked or what is being recognized as a causation. They're saying that the causation truly, they talked about the presenters, they talked about how things are presented, but they're saying that it really isn't important to name presenters or to identify or to, just all of our bursting forth, our divine energy. It displaces, it just automatically does that and raises the vibration of the collective Gaia of everything without acknowledging or anything like that. Acknowledging what happened, where, when, why, who, how, those type of things. And not to say that they're saying you don't do this all the time or anything, but it is that love and that consistency of this is, I'm going to change this, I'm going to shift this, this is going to be different, this is why I'm here. all these things. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But knowing that it is um using the term osmosis again, it's just a natural progression, the natural that it doesn't have to be figured out, so to speak, but just connected to bursting forth. Mm. They're showing me a timeline intersecting with the book. Okay, so I'm seeing this is the difference, and this is where the book written by the soul, but I see there's a pronunciation, but I see that timelines can enter. So as we advance, as we increase, I'm seeing timelines entering, and there's, I'll say rewriting, there's editing, I guess you would say. That's very interesting. And they said one just occurred for you. I saw one of your distinct timelines enter in the book, and I saw that enter it and then alteration. So the book is firmly written or not firmly written? It's firmly written by our, I'm going to say our beamer beacon, our total essence, everything that we are. That's what I see. Our soul, I see it firmly written. But I see that as things occur and as we grow and we advance, those timelines can intersect. I'll have to think about this later because it's not confusing me. It makes sense as I'm seeing it, but I know there's going to be some logical questions around that. Is there anything else you want to elaborate? Okay, because I'm seeing it as a book that's fixed on a shelf in our physical. This is written when we come here, but part of the writing is also intersecting timelines. That is also part of our soul's desire. If I advance to this, that brings this timeline in. If I advance to this, if I experience this and you know, I open up and I have increased consciousness in the area, then this is the timeline, the new version. So it's like I don't want to say sequels, but it's the same book, but that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I know I got Myra, Jeanette, Tim, Jesper, Estella, Orpha, Megan. We're good. I think I went over, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. Send appreciation to the hive. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I kept muting you.